So in today's video, what I want to cover is why your brand is failing in 2023 if you keep working with agencies. So I've been in the space for over 2 years. I've worked with over 60 clients, and I've worked with brands doing $1 million a month in revenue. I've worked with brands doing 50 to 100K a month in revenue. The biggest bottleneck I see is you keep delegating your biggest source of growth to somebody else. Why are you outsourcing your marketing to an agency? It doesn't make any sense. If lead gen is one of the biggest variables for your business, acquiring new customers, and apart from that, even retention strategies, why are you delegating that piece of the puzzle to somebody else? It doesn't make any sense. And the issue is like, okay, you've worked with 4 or 5 agencies, you've been burned in the past, they promise you the world, they underdeliver. If you keep outsourcing growth from an agency that does Facebook and a different agency that does TikTok and an agency that does Google, your marketing strategy isn't congruent. Whatever you're doing, it's not congruent. It's not going to work. In reality, you need a CMO, you need a growth consultant in your business that can ultimately come up with these strategies to create an evergreen approach. I say this time and time again, and yet founders don't listen. So what are the bottlenecks working with the agency? The agency makes money by signing 10, 15 clients. What you need is somebody that's hyper specific in your business, that's only focusing on your business. And agencies it's always a bottleneck. They're not the growth engine. In reality, these access channels work congruently, right? Facebook's good for top of funnel prospecting. TikTok's good for top of funnel prospecting. Google's good for retargeting. But if you run different offers, different bundles with different access channels, you're not capturing the market and you're not producing profitable results. For example, if you run a bundle on Facebook and you run a separate offer on TikTok and you run a separate offer on Google, thinking that's going to fix your issues, it's not. You have to use these channels congruently. And most of these founders don't know how to run ads, which is insane. You need to learn how to run ads in this day and age of market. And the great thing is, platforms like Facebook have become less sophisticated. The best strategy is literally going broad, optimizing your creatives, landing pages, offers, and ultimately letting Facebook do the work for you. And you just have to check in and look at that data and analyze what's happening, what's working, what's not working. And if you're a founder and you're strapped for time, you're busy, you need a growth consultant in your business. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Hernandez. I am the founder of scalevelocity.io. You can check out my website. Here, I created a long form video that you can watch that breaks this all down. I give the exact protocol that we're using for day-to-day operations, where we take a brand, like let's say it's a brand doing 50K a month in revenue. We focus on dialing in the unit economics, building out the marketing assets, validating that assets on a single access channel, looking to increase the conversion rate on that access channel. We're going to split test offers, increase AOV, and as mentioned, produce creatives that are going to hit KPI. You get a surplus of cash flow on the front end on one access channel. And realistically, you shouldn't even be running TikTok if your Facebook isn't profitable. And the issue I get 9 times out of 10 is, oh, Facebook doesn't work for my brand. Well, the reason why Facebook doesn't work for your brand is because some of these factors are not dialed in. Your creatives aren't dialed in. Your strategy isn't dialed in. Your offer isn't dialed in. Your landing page isn't dialed in. Focus on that first and then look to expand into other access channels, which we do, right? We follow the process of scale up Facebook, retarget those customers on Google. Once you have a surplus of cash flow on the front end, then you can diversify into TikTok. And then from there, we essentially help you build in-house. We train your team. We provide everything A to Z. We make iterations on the access channel, and then we consult on a high level for back-end LTV based off post-purchase surveys. What are the best offers to run? And then from there, you're profitable on the front end. You have high LTV, and then now you're in a position where you have your internal assets, you have your team in-house, so that you can exit if you want to in the next 2 to 3 years. And I've even wrote a 30-page protocol on this. So in this video, I want to break down that protocol and what are the steps. What's the trajectory? What's the best unit case for your business so that you can scale and survive a recession? So the steps, the first 12 months, if you're starting from scratch, is okay. You have to validate market fit. Maybe you have 3 products on your website. You have to validate the right offer. You have to validate these marketing assets on one single access channel. And what happens is founders try to delegate that growth from the very beginning to an agency, and they get subpar results because that agency isn't validating on your business and they're working with other clients and they don't have the time capacity to scale your business, right? It's just the way the model is. It's broken. Now, What separates a brand that can exit in 48 months from a brand that where majority of, I would say, businesses collapse is right here. Validating product market fit, one offer, one access channel, initial CAC is profitable, then you diversify to other channels, and then from there you're selling for a multiple. Whereas what I see 9 times out of 10 is founder hires an agency runs different offers, and you have a different agency for different access channels, and then pretty much, I mean, you're burning money, you're not profitable, and you're not dialing in unit economics, right? So with that being said, it's literally so simple. Focus on one high AOV bundle. Why do I preach AOV bundle? Well, we know acquisition cost is rising. There's nothing to stop it. Saturation of the market. If you're in the supplement space, you're competing with attention with other brands that have been around for 4 or 5 years, and your CPMs are going to skyrocket. There's no way fighting it. Facebook's going to fluctuate. One month you're going to be really good. The other month it might go subpar, and you might see high CPMs. That's just the name of the game of marketing, because you're capturing and you're competing for eyeballs. So with a high AOV bundle, you're able to sustain inflation within the market. Because if you sell a product at $80 to $100, let's say your growth margin on that is 60% or 80% because it's a high AOV bundle, you can acquire a customer at $20, you can acquire a customer at $40, and you're still in the green on the front end. And then with a high AOV bundle, you're selling so many products that you're giving the new customer touch points on more chances of ways to come back from your brand or come back to your business, which in turn they might want to repurchase specific product vertical A because they really used it out of, let's say you sell 3 products, they really love product A, they want to come back and repurchase from that. So then you're getting more chances of somebody coming back to your business because you're giving them a variety of tests in your products, right? So that being said, literally that's the formula. It's you focus on one access channel, you optimize the creatives, offer, landing page, and then from there you dial in, and then you scale, and then you use Google as retargeting, and then from there you're capital efficient, so then you can look to tap into TikTok because it's a whole nother beast. It's very creative intensive, right? And the best unit case for this is pretty much the scenario is analyze your sales cycle, generate profitable CAC, and then build in-house. Because when you work with agencies, you're getting that growth. You need people that think about your business night and day. With an in-house team, they're only focused on your business, your company, your offers, and split testing that. And then from there, you can upsell, downsell, cross-sell, and increase LTV. It's not hard. And you as a founder, whether that's you hiring a CTO or whether that's you delegating the product invention side of it, you're always every quarter you're creating new products, or every 6 months you're launching new products, you're testing new products to your existing access channel, you're building a community, and then from there you're pretty much diversified in the market, and you have Facebook firing off, you have Google firing off, you have TikTok firing off. So 1 month Facebook might be unprofitable, but you have TikTok on the back end, and that's really driving up your growth. You're diversified instead of relying on one access channel. So how do I view the market? Well, if I know that founders, majority of brands are delegating to a bunch of other agencies, well then you know that you have a competitive edge when you have an in-house remote team. You have a competitive edge. Because if everybody in the market's relying on agencies and these agencies are delivering subpar results, that is how you beat the market. You do what other people in the market are not doing, which is having an in-house team. Now, founders have to understand marketing. It's just as important as back-end inventory, managing that financials, your cash flow. And a founder doing $50K a month ultimately is the one doing everything. And then from there, once you have a growth consultant who's building out your internal operations, who's setting you up for success, from there you're able to be diversified, and you're able to now reach capital efficiency instead of paying an agency $5K a month retainer, $6K a month retainer, in which out of a 3-month agreement or a 90-day contract that you're in, you're going to be negative, and you're not having the iterations made. You're not having that data correlated, because what happens is if you hire an agency, they're going to do testing for 90 days, and then from there you might not even be profitable, and then you lose the data, because if you offboard that agency and hire another agency, you lose that data, you lose the iterations. 9 times out of 10, that agency is not giving you a direct report of what was tested, what was not tested, and you don't know what was tested. You don't know what works, and you can't make iterations on what was tested because you lose out on that data when you fire that agency. The agency doesn't care. You can ask for reports, but 9 times out of 10, as I mentioned, these agencies don't have an offboarding process. And if you don't know what was tested, you don't make iterations, you're just wasting money, you're throwing it down the drain. So the future of e-commerce is having a growth consultant. What is a growth consultant? A growth consultant is essentially a CMO that is in charge of your whole entire marketing team. They come up with marketing strategy for one access channel, and they help you build in-house. Now, the great thing about a growth consultant is they're not really working with 15 other clients, 10 other clients. It's very lean boutique, and essentially you just maybe pay them a setup fee, and then you just give them a commission on actually the revenue generated or the net profit generated. Now, if you keep going the agency route, you're going to fall into this loophole. The loophole is where majority of brands die within 12, 48 months. Right here, the red. We're headed into recession, right? And it's very important that you're capital efficient. You're aware of where the money's going. You're aware that you're not spending a surplus of cash flow, because in order to survive when the market is saturated, the person that wins in a recession is the person that's the leanest and has a lot of money to put into ad spend, because if every brand is going to collapse, you're able to now take over the market, and you're not paying $15K in retainers. You're not outsourcing your growth. You have your in-house team that is very lean, and you're capital efficient to deploy cash flow when marketing's cheap, because everybody in the market's coming out of the market because of said recession. So how do you set up your company for success, right? And it's literally, I just outlined this in the protocol. I mean, it's not hard to follow. You can check out this protocol, scalevelocity.io, and you can essentially copy this. Even if you don't work with me, replicate the system, and pretty much you're bound for success. So with that being said, it's literally the formula. I keep saying this over and over again. High AV bundle, focus on one access channel, scale that, dial in your unit economics. From there, diversify into other channels, right? Facebook's good for top of funnel prospecting. Google is great for retargeting. And then from there, you have TikTok as your top of funnel lead gen method to get new pockets of audiences once you face entropy. It's never been easier. With Facebook, you set up Advantage Plus campaigns, or you go fully broad. With creatives, you have your in-house team that is you might need you only need a team of 6, right? Growth consultant, editor, creative strategist, somebody who's able to come up with storyboards, and you have, let's say, a creative manager that's finding creators, which you can use you can just hire a VA, and you can find creators anywhere, like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, even Backstage, like all these resources to find creators. It's not hard. And apart from that, your editor can also produce statics, right? Leveraging AI tech. And from there, you have your creatives intact. You're using AI tech. You have your editor who's editing the videos only on your business. And then from there, you have your growth consultant who's driving the ship, who's creating the offers, creating the landing pages, or you can even outsource your landing pages. It's not hard. But from there, your growth consultant is driving the ship forward for the marketing. And then from there, you're able to get dialed in unit economics. You're capital efficient. You're maybe only spending $5K for all these assets. And then it's LTV, which your growth consultant is optimizing your email list strategy for back-end retention with even upsells, downsells, and cross-sells. So the formula has never been easier. We know for a fact the agency model is broken. As a founder, what are you going to do in the next 18 months to set yourself up and your business up for success? Because 9 times out of 10, the founders aren't thinking in a 2, 3, 4, 5 year, even 10-year horizon. Founders are wasting money, agencies, their business is not even set up for an exit, And from there, you're delegating your growth, you're delegating your lead gen to somebody else. Now, how do we help? How do we fix this, right? Essentially, what my business offer is and why I pivoted is I know that running an agency is not always beneficial for a business. It's not always beneficial for a brand. So what we do is in the first 90 days, we dial in your unit economics. We get you profitable on one access channel. And then from there, we help you build internal resources to build in-house. And then we're pretty much consulting at the highest level to get you to profitability. And we're focusing on your front-end CAC. We're focusing on your LTV. Now, the process is founders doing everything else themselves. They learn marketing. They're running the ads themselves. And we help you get that dialed in, or we might even teach you. And then from there, we're essentially your growth consultant. We come into your business, build out these internal operations, and then you have your team in place that's pretty much managing this on the day-to-day operations. They're reporting to you, and you're set up for success. That's it. So if you want my protocol, literally go into my website, type in scalevelocity.io. I created this 1 hour long video that breaks down everything. Watch this video, study this chart, read my protocol so that you can do this by yourself if you don't want to work with me, or if you don't have the cash flow to work with me. Run this yourself. If you're learning how to run ads, you can literally just check out my YouTube channel. I covered the exact strategy we're using, what's working for Facebook. Create a high AOV bundle, run that, and then from there, once you're profitable, reach out to me and I can get you dialed in on other access channels. That is the key. That is the solution. Because during a recession, if everybody's relying on agencies, they're going to cut back on their agencies, and they're starting from ground zero, just relying on their existing customer base to get them to the green and to survive a recession, which you're not going to see any success if you follow that route. What happens is you have an internal operation, you have a growth consultant, you are essentially set up for success because you're capital efficient on the front end. You have a strategy in place for all access channels. You have a strategy in place for LTV. You're launching new products every 3 to 6 months. You're validating those products with your existing customer base. You push that to the market on these access channels. You're diversified. And on top of that, it's a never-ending cycle where you're profitable, you're getting money, you're testing new products, you're reaching out to your existing customer base, you're growing your customer base, and then from there, you have your internal operations to exit. Literally, that's it. So, with this video, that is the realization. That is what you need to do, and that's what you need to accomplish if you're trying to scale your company in 2023 to 2024 when the market's going to be tight, and the only way to find success is being capital efficient. Now, what are agencies good at? Sure, if you find a specialist for TikTok, bring them on board, study their systems, and then from there, take those learnings and build in-house. But you can expedite that when you have a growth consultant who's worked across these other access channels. So, I hope you found this video valuable. You can check out my website, you can look at our case studies, you can look at my protocol, study the protocol, and if you need further help, just book in a call with me. You'll talk directly with me. I don't outsource. I take all my sales calls. I run a lean operation. And then from there, this model is what's going to take you forward and propel you during a recession. So with that being said, if there's any questions, drop them down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this gives you context on what you need to accomplish. You need to work with a growth consultant. If you don't, you're going to keep relying on agencies. You're going to keep becoming and falling into the loophole of work with the agency, get burned, spend $15K in retainers, and then from there you're back from ground zero with more money lost than money gained.